Hey guys, so with the latest update from Blizzard 9 minutes ago, and for me it is 3:41 p.m. So we have another at least 2 hours before the Vessel of Hatred actually goes live. So I decided, you know what, let me just throw on a Necromancer leveling build for you guys, and that way you guys have something to just blast through and have fun whenever you're going. You don't really have to think too much because you can just pull up the in-game overlay with Mobalytics and you can just follow along with this really easy. So I just threw on Reapers #2 whenever you get to it, whenever you actually unlock it. Whenever you first start off, you're going to want the Warriors, and you're going to want the one that gives you one additional just because it's extra free damage. You're going to start off when you get your Skeletal Mages at level 15 with Frost #1 because it's going to give you Essence. Eventually, you will switch over to Shadow #1 because that's going to just give you more damage output, because the more mages you have, the more damage that it adds to it. And then of course we're going to go with Blood Golem #2 because it's the absolute best damage in the game for minions. For the aspects and stuff, I didn't really put what stats you want on the gear you're leveling. You're going to be constantly changing this stuff anyways. You just want to try and look out for these particular aspects. Occult Dominion, this one gives you +2 warriors and mages. Juggernaut, it makes so every time you evade, you get a huge chunk of armor. So it's just really good for survivability. You're obviously going to be changing this out. This is not going to be your end game aspect. This one will probably be completely nullified once you hit the actual armor cap anyway, so not a big deal. Great Feast you want because they have changed the way that minions scale for their damage, especially for the Ring of Mendelin, which we have over here. It used to actually scale off of your damage, not off of your minions' damage, but now it's scaling directly off of your minions' enhanced damage. So anything like Great Feast, where it increases your minions' damage, but it drains part of your essence. Essence isn't going to be too big of a deal for us. You don't really need to worry about it because you're just going to be super buffing your minions and making sure they do a bunch of damage anyways. Now, if you're wanting to have essence spending abilities, like when you're first leveling up, obviously you're not going to have this aspect right out the gate. So Blood Surge is going to be the best option to level for the very beginning, for the first 10-15 levels, and then it's going to transition over to either Sever or Blight, whichever one you prefer. I prefer Blight, is what I'll show you whenever I get over to the actual skills. Frenzied Dead, just because it's going to give minions attack speed, which gives them more and more damage. They've buffed Kalen's Edict to also give damage as well as attack speed, so that is a humongous amount of just free damage. Unyielding Commander makes every time you pop Army of the Dead, your minions do up to 110% increased damage and take 90% reduced damage. So humongous damage increase. Ring of Mendelin, as soon as you get one, throw it on. It's going to be absolutely massive. It is going to be the best in slot ring for minion builds for this season. Yeah, grab one as soon as you can. And then I just threw on Reanimation here because your minions gain more damage while they've been alive, which makes it so that Ring of Mendelin is going to do even more damage. Don't worry about the runes. I just grabbed 2 random ones. Doesn't really matter. On to the skill tree. So I'm going to explain the skill tree, how I'm actually going to do it for leveling, because early on, you're going to play Blood Surge. It's the best skill in the entire game across all classes for leveling, but it falls off right around when you get your Golem, right around like level 25-ish. And that's when I'm going to transition over to Blight. You can also use Sever if you like that one better. Really doesn't matter. It's just going to be a preference thing. And for me, my preference is Blight because it busts my minions by 25 or by 20%. So 2 points into Decompose, and then you're going to go on, grab Supernatural Blood Surge, which is going to give you Fortify. 1 point into Hued Flesh to unlock down here. 3 points into Skeletal Warrior Mastery. We're going to put 2 points into Titan's Fall, which is going to give us the 12% damage increase from having the Supernatural Blood Surge. Now we're going to come on down. We're going to put 2 points into Iron Maiden. Now let me pop this leveling path real quick so you can see this. The first 10 levels or 10 points you're putting in is all level 1. So all the way up to level 11 is level 1. Level 12 is technically level 2. Keep that in mind. When you see this over here, you're going to be what your actual level is minus 10, because you can't actually unlock the Skeletal Mages till 15 or the Golem until level 25. So there's no point in putting any of these points in here, which you're going to see a lot of other guides doing, which I still, for the life of me, cannot figure out why they're wasting their points before three levels before it actually is available. So for me, I would put a couple into Precision. We're now level 6. Put a couple points into here. This is going to make it so that this increases your lucky hit chance. This to make it so you get the barrier whenever you do lucky hit. So a little bit of extra lucky hit chance to actually proc this more often. We're now level 8, 9, 10, 11. Put 1 point into Necrotic Carapace, 12. Now we're going to go 13, 14, and 15. So as soon as you ding 15 and unlock them, now you have your mages already maxed out and ready to go. Now, once you do that, you've also unlocked the ultimate down here. So 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. We're actually going to do 22, 23, and 24. Yes, your golem's going to be maxed out 1 level early, but that's going to be so you have Kaelin's Edict online and ready to go at level 25. Now, congratulations, you have your golem. You have all your free minions online. Now, this is the point that I said you're going to want to swap out and get rid of Blood Surge. So you're going to want to go down, you're going to want to grab Supernatural Blight, or you can also go Sever all the way down to Supernatural Sever, which makes it your Sever does more damage for each minion you have upon cast. However, I like to have my minions doing the damage and me just kind of supporting them and buffing them, which is why I go Supernatural Blight. So we're going to take the 3 points out of Blood Surge. We're going to cut a couple more points back into Hewed Flesh. Now we're going to come down here and we're going to go Grim Harvest and we're going to max out Fueled by Death. So it's going to make it obviously whenever you pop a corpse, it's going to give you a 9% damage increase. So it's just going to be huge damage buff as well, because your damage does, as far as I know, still transfer over to your minions. So your damage increase transfers to your minions. Now that we've gotten to that point, we're going to come down here. We're going to put 3 points into Finality. It's going to make so every time we pop Army of the Dead, 15% damage increase. Finish off Hellbent Commander and Inspiring Leader. You no longer need to worry about anything in this board down here. Everything down here is done. Now, all we're going to be doing is putting in small passive nodes to give us the little buffs along the way. So we have Spiked Armor. Just you're going to need to hit armor cap. Once you do hit armor cap, you can start taking points out as you get more and more armor, to the point where hopefully you don't need this, but it's always nice to have. It also gives thorns to you and your minions. So it's still nice to just have just for the thorns alone. Now, because we are no longer needing Iron Maiden, we're actually going to take the points out of here. We're going to go down to Abhorrent Decrepify for the cooldown reduction, put 3 points into Amplify damage. So anytime we curse them, 12% damage increase. A little bit of movement speed is always nice. Finish off your Precision Decay, and then you're going to put the remaining points into all of these little passives around here. Just free buffs, free everything is good. Now we have 13 points left. So I would finish off Necrotic Carapace, and then you go 1 point in Reaper's Pursuit, 3 into Gloom, 3 into Terror, and then 1 into Crippling Darkness. Now, what you can do here, if you decide, hey, I want to use these remaining 3 points, you can either put them into more Crippling Darkness chance, so you have a higher chance to get the 1 second stun, helps on bosses to break their bar so that you can actually do massive amounts of damage to them. You can get more movement speed. What I would recommend is actually putting it into Decrepify, because Decrepify is actually a damage reduction on the mob. So whenever you do it, whenever you hit them with the Decrepify, they do less damage to you. You could actually even take one out of the Necrotic Carapace. You don't technically need all 3, and I would 505 that. That's a 23.8 damage reduction for 10 seconds for free. So it's a 1 10 essence cast. It's super easy. Doesn't even really matter too much. Now, at this point, you're pretty much good to go. The Paragon board, I'm not going to go through and do all of it. My first thing is I always come up to the right here just to give you guys like a heads up of how it goes. Oh, they put a 10% damage note here. Oh, that's kind of cool. Grab these ones, come up. You're going to go here, and I always like to put in Amplify. Now, I might end up changing this around whenever I'm playing and I actually test all of the stuff in game. I haven't had a chance to test all of this stuff beforehand, but I feel like this might actually work out better with some of the other ones, maybe like an Essence Glyph in here, because it's going to make it so it's going to give you increased critical strike damage to your minions. So that could actually be a huge damage increase. I almost always went with Amplify before because it buffed all of the blue and yellow nodes. But I mean, once you hit 40, it didn't really matter if you went any higher. So I might actually go with Essence on this. This is just a heads up in the future of where my mind might go. It might go for Essence instead. And then you can go grab all of these nodes here, grab all of these nodes here. You're going to want to make sure you grab all of the damage nodes all over the place. The more dexterity you get, the better. You can actually, oh, yeah, that works. You can take that one out. And this will give you 54 dexterity, and it's every 5 dexterity within range. So this will be a humongous increase to critical strike. And then, of course, we're going to come up, and the first one we're going for, as always, will be Cult Leader, because Cult Leader is your minion board. So this is where we're going to end up going. Let's rotate this. And then you can come up here and go straight over. We could just, what do you want? You want Dead Razor. Dead Razor is always the glyph that you want for Cult Leader board, 100% of the time. But as you can see with Cult Leader, it actually increases their damage by 40% instead of 30% now. So it's actually going to be a humongous damage increase when you can hit 100% attack speed bonus. And then, you know, these actual clusters up here, like the mage one, the warrior one over here. Is this warrior? This is warrior. This is just maximum minion life. This is warrior over here. Is actually going to be beneficial because the Ring of Mendelin is all scaling off of your actual minions damage instead of yours. So it's going to be very beneficial to actually branch out to all of the different areas of this board and actually get benefit from all of that, because it's all going to scale your Ring of Mendelin damage. So something to look forward to. I will be putting out a full minion build when I hit max level and grind out the Paragon, so that I can actually display the full height of what this is going to be capable of doing. So look for that. Probably, I mean, the servers, I mean, let's hope they come up soon, but I would say probably tomorrow, because everything's being delayed back further and further and further. I'm going to no life the hell out of the game anyways, but I don't know how long it's going to take me to blast through all this Paragon. So look out for it. I might even have one up when I'm not fully done with all of the Paragon, but at least close enough to where I can safely say if the build is actually worth it or not. So look out for that in the future. So don't forget to subscribe. That will be coming out in the next probably 24 hours or so. And yeah, also don't forget, I mean, if you like any of my builds, they're all going to be up on Mobalytics. I should probably save this and name it. Minions. Save. I don't feel like publishing this right now. Oh, wait, no, I do need to publish this. Well, anyways, I will publish it in a second. I'm going to get rid of the Paragon board. I'm just going to get rid of all of that because I'm not going to actually show the Paragon board stuff. But let me just, can I get rid of it? Is there a reset button? Reset. Remove. There we go. Now we can publish. Publish. Okay, cool. So this will be the build, and I will definitely have a build up in the next 24 hours or so. I have to go edit this really quickly, and hopefully I have it all done before the servers go live. So I hope you guys enjoy your season 6. I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping you're looking forward to it, and I will see you all in game.